grab the first one. All right, this week we are going to take a look at Legends of Andor. This is a awesome game.
Awesome.
I was totally fooled, though. I thought it was Legends of Endor, and I was like, all right, it's about time.
You thought it was going to be an Ewok
I thought
adventure.
it was all Ewoks.
Okay, so this is a 2 to 4 player cooperative adventure game. That's really the best way I can explain this. 10 and up, and it takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. It's from Kosmos Games. A little bit of background about this game, kind of pretty cool. So this game won there's an award called the Spiel des Jahres.
Is that like that game conference?
That's it's Germany. That's the best game of the year. But they also give what's called the Kennerspiel, which is it's considered the connoisseur or expert award. So they usually, the Spiel des Jahres is given to like a family game. Things like Hanabi, Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride. Those are the games that have won those in the past. This won the Kennerspiel in 2013. So it was originally published in 2012, and I think it was just published in Germany. So only Germans could get it. But in February of last year, Cosmos said they're going to bring it, and they translated it to English, and everyone's freaking out because it's a great game.
It's a great game.
So a couple things about this game. Basically, like I said, it's 2 to 4 players. First of all, the artwork in this game is insanely awesome.
Cool.
Michael Menzel is the designer and the artist. So kudos, like he did everything.
Keep the same art and everything from the German
Yeah,
version?
everything's the same. Yeah, I think they changed some components. But so what in this game, what you're doing is the easiest comparison I can make is a game like Dragon Age or Elder Scrolls. Like
it's a video game.
Yeah. Basically, you're working cooperatively to go on these different campaigns, these different missions. There's 5 campaigns in the base set. The first one is an introductory mission. And the first thing I want to say is this is very story-driven. There's an overarching story that goes throughout it, so I'm not going to spoil anything, and I don't want you guys to spoil anything else. But essentially what you're doing is you're a mage, a warrior, a dwarf, and an archer, and you're going out on these epic quests to save the kingdom. And bad stuff happens, and you try to,
monsters spawn. You got to kill
and
monsters.
it's got.
Make sure they don't get to the castle.
It is story driven, but what and you might be getting this in a minute, is there's a lot of randomness to the story. So there is replayability.
Yes.
It's not like a story I'm going to get through once and then I know the story. Like you could definitely replay this because you don't know what kind of cards are going to get picked out, and
Right.
there's enough randomness to keep it interesting and fun.
Well, the earlier quests, it's like this is your one quest you all got to do, and then you win. But the last mission, or the legend...
the legends.
The legend that we did is like you pick out of a deck, right? What is it called?
The fate card. So
the fate card. We all picked our own fate card, and then
we
have
complete
to complete all of those.
And then in the setup, you roll dice to place things in different places and stuff. So it's just like it's in one adventure, but you could redo that adventure and have completely different results and
our
need
fates
different
were
strategy.
way different. Like
stuff.
you had a collection quest,
Right.
I had a defeat quest. I forgot what yours was.
Mine was also a defeat quest, but I had to do it by myself. So one of the cool things about this game is it uses dice as a battle mechanic. Basically, the bad guy rolls dice, you roll dice, you take the difference. It's a very simple mechanic. But the real unique thing about this game is time is an enemy of the game.
Yep.
Every time you kill an enemy, you advance the story, and you have to complete your quest before the end of the story. So you can't just run around and kill everything.
That's what we did the first playthrough, the starter one. We were like, this is way easy. We just killed all the bad guys.
Everybody.
And then when we reread the rules, we're like, oh, crap. You're supposed to move the story up every letter by every enemy you kill. So now it's like, well, we don't need to kill that guy.
Yeah, you actually have to let somebody...
so it's way harder. It's way better, too.
Yeah, and I will say, let's I think I've probably said enough about the game. It's, like I said, it's story-driven, so I'm not going to talk about the story because I definitely want you to... There are some twists and turns and stuff like that, and it's really, really great. The components are awesome. Like I said, the artwork, this is the little things. The character stands, if you look at the front, it's the front of the character, and if you flip it around, it's the back of the character. Yeah. And then they have a female and a male version, and they have a female and a male standee. Like your archer that you were the archer, Jordan.
Right.
You're always the range guy, by the way.
I know. I like that's.
I'm always the one.
That's on purpose.
I couldn't even tell the difference between the female and the male, but then I got it real close, and there is a difference. I'm like, you didn't have to do that, but it's like, good on you, Michael Menzel. Good job.
Yeah, I like the theme. It's very themed. Like,
yeah,
it's
very
all
thematic.
High fantasy. It's cool. You get the mage option, archer, warrior, and dwarf. So it's just got all your typical stuff you expect to have. You can get helms and shields and
different weapons
herb.
and different potions and stuff. Gotta get that herb.
It's a cool game.
All right, so let's do the standard review. Hands out. Thumbs up is a great game. Thumbs in the center is an okay game, and thumbs down is a bad game. 1, 2, 3.
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Man,
I coveted 3 thumbs up.
That's
Okay.
hands down.
Let's
Easy one to
start.
say.
Yeah.
Let's start with Gerald. Why do you love this game? Why is this a great game? Why would you recommend to play this?
Well, just like I said before, it's a video game. I love video games. I love RPGs. It is a video game in a board game form. So, like we said, there's quests, just like video games. There's an inventory system. You can buy stuff with gold. You can
What are
ramp
you
your
buying?
character. What are you selling? You could buy strength to ramp your character up. You have life that dictate the amount of dice you roll for when you fight. It's a video game, and it's great. Everything is just solid about this game.
Jordan,
Yeah,
what do you love about it?
It's very much like Descent.
Yes,
or,
Dungeon Crawl, yeah.
Dungeon Crawl, or your Star Wars Empire
Sure.
Assault. But what I liked is
Easier,
it's
yeah.
brought down. It's easier, yeah,
Simpler,
exactly, and it's brought down on a smaller scale. So your round, you start over from the beginning, and it's kind of like the newer like Dota games, like
Yeah.
where you
like
go
a
from
MOBA
1 to 20. You know, instead of like you have to put 20 hours into this game, and then you have this beastly character, and then the other people may not have as good a character, so yours is just stronger. In each round of this, you all start off even, and you build your characters together, and you go through this quest. And I like that style because I don't have the time to put into 50 hours to get my character high enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you're that invested, and he dies, and then you have to start over.
Crap.
It's horrible.
And it's more accessible to other people too.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah, I
then,
think you could play this like if you want to get someone into Dungeons and Dragons.
this would be a
Start
good
here.
intro,
Start
yeah,
here
for
because
sure.
this is a good way to kind of show how dice mechanics work. Battling with dice, skill checks, things like that. But it has a board. It has concrete elements that are native to people who have played other board games before.
Yeah, one of the cool things and negatives on it, but not negative enough to matter, was that it just kind of jumps you right into the game. So we didn't have to hear a bunch of rules and things, so we just got to start playing.
Yeah.
Which was great, except for sometimes we didn't know the rules.
Right.
And
Well, the first mission is almost it's the hand holding in a video game.
Yeah,
it's your
it
first
is.
mission. Press A to jump.
Yeah.
But
Something
there,
like that.
Yeah.
but there were certain times where we're like, what does a shield do? And it was just like, well, I don't know.
It's like,
And we
I
had
didn't
to-
explain to it yet because we don't need to
We
use
hadn't
it.
got to that part
Right.
yet.
And that's kind of the thing that I wish, and I think that's not a criticism for everyone else other than us, because it's kind of weird. This game it ultimately solved that problem because
Right.
but we always are like, what is all this cool
I
stuff?
got that wine skin. The
Right.
first one's like, what does this do?
Yeah,
And we
but
didn't know until
it'll
the second
tell you.
legend.
It'll eventually tell you, but it's
When it
slowly
matters.
ramping you up. And because we've played a lot of games, we're like, well, we know what that's going to do. And
Right.
it's like, well, hold on, just let me get to it. And this game, that's the biggest praise I can give it. I didn't have to spend an hour explaining the rules to you guys.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
That was nice.
We started
That's
playing.
good for us too. That's the worst part
Yeah.
about playing games. It's just
And it seems really complicated. It seemed like
Yeah.
if you're not playing the game and you didn't come at the beginning, it seemed like if you just like stepped in the room and saw us playing, you'd be like,
holy crap.
"What is going
Yeah.
on?" Like, because there's all these things that once you've done one round, you know what to do. So you kind of just like it seems like we're just making stuff up, but we're following the instructions of the board side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're there from the beginning, it makes a lot of sense. It's super easy. The movement makes sense. There's cool pictures that show exactly the order
Yeah.
of everything to do. It's just a well-made, fun game. Plus, in all the rounds we played, we got really close to losing,
Yes.
but we won.
Yes.
And
So it's like, oh my god, we gotta win on this last turn.
and
or we
it was
lose the
like
whole thing.
rolls could have screwed us and we lost, or just poor planning. Even though we
Yeah.
did screw up a couple times on the planning, we could have optimized, but we still won. And
Jordan's
you know,
such the optimizer.
I'm like, we
you got
do
mad at me.
everything.
Like we are literally on a
we
quest.
didn't get that herb. We needed that herb,
And
but
he-
by the end of the game, we didn't need it. you
I know, but he killed that one troll at the beginning,
Yeah.
and that just set off all the worst things.
Like I said, what's cool about it is, like I said, every time you kill something, because it plays into the fact that usually in these games, what you're going to first do is like run around killing trolls and killing, I think they're called gores or scrawls. But in this game, it's like, no, like you have to be efficient and be effective.
Like,
Yeah.
it keeps you from farming. You
Right.
can't farm because every time you kill a guy, you get gold. And when you get gold, you can go buy strength. So you could just essentially kill all the easy guys and become really strong. But if you do that, you run out of time.
Right.
Exactly.
So you
That's
got,
cool.
Yeah,
That's
no,
very
it
cool.
keeps it a fun playing field.
So yeah, excellent game. Legends of Andor, check it out. You can find it, I think right now on Amazon, it's like $40-$50. I mean, even
Worth it, yeah.
if you just play the 5 legends, that's because it took us probably an hour to an hour and a half to play it. So if we played what 5 hours of this game. I mean, that's awesome. So
Yeah, good. It was a really great game.
coveted 3 thumbs up for Legends of Andor.
They have like an expansion or something too, or
Yes, they are coming out with there's expansions that we'll be talking about. Don't worry, we've got that. We'll have
More of this
expansions.
game.
It's
All
a
right,
very, very good game. So that's Legends of Andor.